All right, we are now joined on the Soccer Hour by Earthquakes midfielder Ronnie Vieira. Ronnie, what's going on, man? How are you doing?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well, man. I am getting stoked for Saturday's game against a really good San Diego side, who I think will be another great test for you guys. But just let me, before we start talking about, all the team and the soccer stuff, I want to ask about you, man. And you've obviously lived all over the globe. You've played for some big clubs, but now you get to find yourself in the Bay Area and living in San Jose, the tech capital of the world. How has it been living in San Jose and living in the Bay Area and in California?
It's been good. I'm enjoying it. Everyone's been very welcoming here. The club has helped me a lot, and been here for about 5, 6 months now. So I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait to get going. Well, carry on going, and
Yeah.
how long I can stay here for.
Yeah, and you're well prepared to live in a place like the Bay Area because did I hear correctly? Do you speak 3 or 4 languages? You have English, Spanish, Portuguese. Do you speak Italian as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so are you learning a fifth language at this point?
No, but I do speak 5 languages actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have also the language back home. Creole is called.
Oh, right, right. That's awesome, man. Being multilingual like that must be quite a skill. My Spanish is a little lacking. I need to practice and get a little bit better at it, but I can get by. Have you found any food spots that you really like living in the Bay Area? Obviously, sushi and burritos are big here, but is there anything you've really come to enjoy since you've lived
You
here?
know, just me, I like to try a lot of stuff. I've been to a lot of places. The guys have recommended a lot of places as well. So I've been to a few different places, yeah.
Now, here's the real question. Since you lived in Italy and you know Italian, what do you think of the coffee here?
It's different.
Different?
It's not the same, but it is what it is.
What are you? Are you an espresso guy? Do you get just a cup of black coffee, latte?
Yeah,
What's your
just
drink?
more of an espresso guy, yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. I like espresso as well, so you got that in common. But well, good stuff, man. So let's talk a little bit about getting used to the team and such. Obviously, you came over towards the tail end of last season and the summer transfer window. What were your impressions upon getting to know the club and getting to know all the guys here?
My impression's been good, even before coming. Uh, we're speaking with Bruce and Shari and stuff. So they spoke to me about the club. They told me what they wanted to do, and I was obviously convinced by what they wanted to do.
Mhm.
And coming in from last year, I was happy to meet all the guys. I could see there's a lot of potential within the club. I'm not just speaking like in the football side, but also like all around
Yeah.
the area and stuff. So I'm happy. And then this year we've made a little bit of progress, I think, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Uh, just with everything as well, football wise, nutrition wise, everyone's working really hard to make sure we have everything that we need. So yeah, for now, very, very happy.
How much pride do you take in the fact that the team has only given up 1 goal through the first 5 games of the year?
Uh, Obviously, we're all happy with that. I think it's been a massive improvement from last year. And even before coming in, I knew it was a team that could score a lot of goals, but also a team that could concede a lot of goals.
Hmm.
And this was one of the main objectives for us this season to concede a very, very different amount that happened last year. So, and I think so far, obviously, we've worked with the coaches and Bruce and stuff. So for now, I think we're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
But we can't start thinking we're the best team defensively because then that's when you start dropping the standards. So we just have to carry on training and improving.
Last year when you came in, I immediately really liked your game, but I found it interesting that the team was still giving up a lot of goals and was not looking cohesive. And I'm just curious from your point of view, what's the big difference this year? Because it seems like you're playing just as well as you did last year, but it seems like the team defense is just that much more cohesive, that you guys are really more locked into your roles. You're handling transition game much better, getting back on defense when the ball does go on the counter. Is everyone just that much more used to their role, or did it take time for everybody to get used to each other?
I think, also most of the people that stayed this year were already here last year.
Mm-hmm.
And not much has changed really the way we we try and press and defend. I think it's just maybe like getting used to who you're playing with and getting used to all the guys who play next to you and knowing what their role is. So I think everybody's just more connected in a way.
Mhm.
And obviously we have a very young squad, so a lot more energetic, a lot more energy, a lot more running. So, and I think it's a good group. So if somebody makes a mistake, you know that you always have somebody else who's gonna pick up the pieces for you. So I think it's just like being, together as a team. And like I said, we did work on it during preseason, so we're just getting the fruits of that at the moment.
Yeah, and you look at that back line, the injury to DeJuan Jones is very unfortunate, but it's also part of the sport. But it seems like, whether it's Vitor Costa who can fill in at that left back position or Jamar Ricketts, or if it's going to be Paul Marie, you have a lot of speed back there on that back line with Benji, with Daniel Muni, with Reed Roberts, Dave Romney when he's come in. How confident does that make you in your role, knowing that you have guys that can cover so much ground behind you?
Very, very confident. I've spoken about this to other people as well. Like we have a very good group of guys. And for me, I think it's a good depth. As in, for example, like you have guys who, of course, everybody wants to play, but I think the most important players in the team are the guys do know that they might not get as much time, but always be ready when they come in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, and I think we have that. For example, I can give you a few examples. Like Ian, the second game of the season when I didn't play, he came in, and
Mm-hmm.
for me, I think he was man of the match of that game. Uh, you know, Jamar started very good, but then, he didn't play. But then when he came on again, he did very well. And Dave Romney, who hadn't played a single minute, I think, prior to the last game,
Yeah.
came on and made a couple of good defensive stops for us. So I think this is Paul Marie as well when we played here against Seattle, when he came in, did very well. I think this is the strength of a group, people who are always ready. And whoever goes on, I think we know that they can get the job done.
I was talking to Benji about this a couple weeks ago, and he said that he felt, because he's been here since 2021, he's been through some teams, but he said that this group is really, really tight knit, that everybody gets along very, very well. I mean, is that, in your short experience with the team, is that the vibe you get as well?
Yes. Yes, I think this year is very different. Obviously, I have not been here for a long time, but from what I experienced last year, the last couple of months or so through this year, I think this team is very gets along with everyone. There's no problems between us whatsoever. We make jokes outside of training. Whenever we're at the training, then we can make jokes, but also work hard, encourage each other. So I think, and this is the strength of a team, everybody needs to get along with each other. So
Yeah, no, it seems like it's a very good group of guys. And, when you got guys out there like Buddha, who've been here for a while as well, and Nico, who made his debut back in 2022, even though, they're still relatively really young players, they've been around, they understand, a lot of the dynamics. One interesting dynamic of your game that I've noticed this year is you've gotten forward in the attack more than you did last year, and you've got some big shots off, and you're suddenly there in the mix. You've dribbled the ball into the box, taken it on the side of the six, played it back across. Is that something that you've been given more freedom to do this year to get more involved with the attack?
yeah, that's something that, Bruce and all the coaches have spoken to me about. They want me to try and to give the balance to the team, but also when I can get forward to try and go forward because we can accept the 1v1s defensively at the back. I've always been a player who likes to cover my center halves a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but having, Daniel who's very fast, Reed who's very strong and fast also, so I don't really need to, I trust them. So I
Yeah.
can, and the coaches want me to get forward a little bit more and help out in attack. So yeah.
It's fun. Yeah. Tell me about playing alongside Bo LaRue. And, he has got a big, big boot. That shot that he scored against Vancouver, man, I felt bad for the keeper because he just got froze. I don't think he expected Bo to take that shot. But what's it like playing alongside him?
That goal was, he does a lot of them in training. So
Yeah.
whenever he gets a chance with that much space, we can count on him to at least hit the target and put the other team under pressure. Yeah, as you said, I think he's a very young player, but in the way he plays, sometimes it feels like he's very experienced. He's
Mhm.
still got a lot to learn, in my opinion, but I think he's doing very well. And if he carries on like this, he can be a big, big, big player for the Quakes.
Yeah, no, I would agree as well. And then, with that midfield, well, I know you have more of a defensive responsibility in general, but you're also trying to get that ball up to Nico's feet and get him going. Tell me about what you think of his game. Obviously, he's another really young player, but has a very bright future.
Yeah, and Nico, in my opinion, has a lot of quality. He can run, he can defend the ball, he can find, the final passes. I think he's got all the attributes to be one of the top players in this part of the world,
Yeah.
if you're talking about the MLS. So, um, yeah, and me being a different type of player that he is, all I need to do really is pick up the ball and try and find him as much as I can,
Hmm.
as well as Bob, because they're the guys with, a little bit more quality, the guys who are probably more forward than me. So, um, we have to try and get him on the ball as much as we can because he's the guy who can create things for us,
Yeah.
as well as Timo Buddha and
Yeah, no, it's been fun. And tell me about Timo coming into the team, because it seems like he has a very good personality. It seems like he's very easy to make jokes and have a good time. It seems like he's been very, very quick to kind of get along with everybody and integrate with the group.
Yeah, he's been very good. He's come in not with the ego and all that sort of stuff with all that he's done in Europe. He's come in with a very good attitude, in my opinion. He gets along with everyone. He cracks jokes with everyone. I think he was cracking jokes already on his first day that he came in, or maybe the second day or something. And I think all the guys feel comfortable with him and feel comfortable also speaking with him because he tries to help and he
Mhm.
works hard. He works hard.
Yeah, no, he does work hard, and it's been fun to watch him be able to assist Useni Buddha on a couple of goals there, which have been fun. What are you looking at with this game against San Diego? I mean, last year they were known for how well they were able to play through pressure and play out of the back and kind of bait teams' defenses to come and get high on the press, and then they'd flip the field and go quickly in transition. I would imagine this is a big but also a fun challenge for you guys.
Yeah, I think, all the games we've played, I think they've always gone up a notch. And, you know, last week, last a couple of weeks ago, everybody was saying maybe we weren't favorites, which probably we weren't, but we went in there and we won. Um, this week though, I think is another big test for us,
Mhm.
stepping up a notch. I think San Diego. I love the way they play. I love the way they pass the ball around, what they want to do and stuff. But we as we said before, we're much more compact defensively.
Mhm.
We we run a lot more, I think, and I think we can catch them on with a few loose passes and get on the break. I think so.
No, it'll be fun to watch, man. Were you? I'm trying to remember. Were you here for the game against San Diego last year? Because that was right about the time you came over, if I recall.
Yeah, it was. I watched the first game because I wasn't able to play yet here, and then I played the one
At
away.
San Diego, yeah, yeah.
I don't know how we won, but we ended up grinding the win.
Hey, man, whatever it takes.
Exactly.
What is your opinion of Major League Soccer up to this point? Because a lot of people talk about how physical the league is, and that really plays to your strength because I think you're very broad. You're a very big presence out there on the field, and you've had an easier transition than some guys coming over. But just your thoughts on the league and how it's been compared to maybe what you thought it was before you got here.
Uh, Completely surprised me. The perception we have over in Europe about this league is like, yeah, there's a few players, there's a few good players, but the game is slow. You have a little bit more time on the ball, and the quality maybe is not so good. This is the perception we have over there. But when I came over here, like it shocked me how even just watching our training sessions, how there's some quality. There's a lot of players with good quality, and then playing the games, it is very very physical.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of transitions, which is you know not so much tactical, so you have to run a little bit more. But I think this league has everything to become one of the top leagues in the world, I think, in my opinion. And I think we will see that over the next few years or so that, it will become a bigger and bigger league, I think.
How has it been getting used to the travel? Because I know that that's one of the things that the European guys talk about is how long some of these plane rides are in MLS.
Well, so far I've only done one when we went to Philly.
That's a long flight.
So that was a very long flight. It was longer on the way back, I think, because everyone was tired, it was late night. Um, but it is, as long as you have to do it like 2, 3 times in a year, that's okay.
Yeah.
If all the rest of the flights, it's just like going by by bus, and which in Europe, maybe if it's like 2 hours, you go by bus, or 3 hours, you go by bus.
Yeah.
Here, maybe you do 1 hour flight and you arrive there, or
Did,
2 hour
did,
flight and you arrive there, so it's okay.
for the flight back from Philadelphia, did they have Peronis for you on the plane, or are you just having an American beer?
They no, I had a little bit after the game, but just a little bit. And on the plane, no, it's just more stuff to like get the recovery going and stuff. So
Yeah. Do you play cards on the plane, or are you watching movies on an iPad or anything? What's your go-to?
I'm more of a movie guy.
Movie guy?
But there's a lot of guys who play some cards, yeah.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of cards on those flights. What movies have you watched recently? Anything you can recommend?
I was watching a series called Paradise on Disney Plus.
Okay, yeah,
Really enjoy it. And a few movies. I like to repeat. I like a lot of war movies.
yeah. Nice.
So I kind of just repeat here and then.
What are your favorites? What are some ones that you've watched recently? Have you seen have you done the Band of Brothers series from HBO, or have you done like I'm trying to think, Saving Private Ryan?
No, I have watched American Sniper a few times.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Um, the 12 Strong a few times.
Okay. Yeah.
More like Navy SEALs and stuff like
Nice.
that. I kind of enjoy
Nice.
those kind of things. Yeah.
Nice. Is that always the same on the way, or do you watch a more serious thing on the way there, and then on the plane ride back, maybe something a little bit lighter, or is it just whatever you want to watch?
No, just wherever I want to watch.
Nice.
Sometimes before getting on the plane, you always like download a few things.
Yeah.
So yeah, just watch whatever it is that you feel like watching.
So now that you've lived here for a while and you've gotten a little bit more used to the Bay Area, when you're not at training and at the facility, what are you doing to wind down? Are you going on walks? You going to Santa Cruz to go to the beach? Do you go up to San Francisco?
I haven't really done much because I'm alone here, so I'd rather just stay in my house. Sometimes I go for a little walk, a little bit of shopping, and a few restaurants here and there. But to be honest, I tell you the truth, I'm just more of a home guy.
That's fine. You're speaking right. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to watch any other teams in the Bay Area? Have you started watching the Warriors or the 49ers or the Giants or anything?
Not yet, but that's in the it's in the plans. It's in the plans.
That's on the list. Now, are you only a soccer guy, or were you paying attention to whether it was basketball or any other sports where they were into?
Yeah, basketball in the NFL, I think I'm probably up there with after football. So
Nice.
I'm gonna try and go watch the Warriors and the 49ers. So
Nice.
we will see. Yeah.
Good deal, man. Well, I will let you go because I know you've got stuff to get ready for, but I appreciate your time and I look forward to seeing you on Saturday when you take on San Diego. All right, man?
Thank you very much. Thank you.